Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here with what I read in January. I'm very proud of myself. So let's just get started and I'll tell you why I'm proud of myself. So the first book, it's not the first book I read, but it's the first book on top. Where's my... Oh, there it is Arrows Fall by Mercedes Lackey. This is the third and final in the... It's part of the Valdemar. Like, there's the Valdemar universe, and then I think there's like three... There's trilogies of like different people in the universe, and this is the Heralds of Valdemar. This is the third one, and it starts with Arrows of the Queen, and it follows Talia, who is from the border, I want to say, of this country, and it's pretty backward compared to the rest. Like, women don't have any rights, and children are like, they're not abused, but they're not really taken care of, and you can have a lot of I think only men can have lots of wives, so they have lots of children, that type of thing. And Talia is different than the rest of them. She's smart, and she wants to not just become a wife. And in the first book, she is chosen by Roland, who is a companion, and it's a mystical horse-like being. And then once he picks her, she is a herald, and Roland in particular is the companion of the Queen's herald. Like, there's the Queen, right? She has an heir, and then she has the Queen's own, who is her advisor, and there's like a board. Even though she's a queen, you know, they all have votes. And in the first book, her predecessor died, and Roland chose her, and so she has to struggle with the school at the Herald and of the Heralds, and she has to fix the heir, the Queen's heir, who's a brat. The second one is just, I think I've talked about it, is Talia going, she's graduated, but she has to do a tour of a certain area, and I think she does the near the border because that's what she's familiar with. And she has some problems with her powers because the heralds can sort of mind speak to their companions, but Talia can't with Roland for some reason. I'm not sure if it's a Roland problem or a Talia problem. And Talia, like, all the heralds have a power. Like, Talia's is healing and empathy. And there's she has a teacher, like Chris, who works with another man named Dirk. Dirk can find things, and Chris can see the things that he needs to find, that type of stuff. And then in this one, the heir, Elspeth, she's also a herald. The queen and the heir have to be heralds to rule the kingdom, which is talked about in this book. I think it's talked about in other books, and I even saw that Mercedes Lackey is going to be writing about the first king, so that'll be interesting. Elspeth is of marriageable age, and they send Talia and Chris off to someplace with a Prince Ankar, who wants to marry her and like combine the thrones, but the queen is like suspicious. And then stuff happens, which I'll tell you about. There is, so first of all, there's romance, not just between Talia and someone else, but lots of people. It's politics. There's betrayal by a trusted advisor. He never liked Talia, and I don't even remember him from the first book, but he's pretty memorable in this one. The boys are stupid, and there's a kind of love triangle. Ankar is a very bad man. Talia is raped, but the rape isn't drawn out. It's just stated that she was raped. The only thing that is drawn out is the torture. She is tortured by Ankar and one of his magicians, and that is pretty drawn out, which was fine. I thought that would be better than the rape. The rape being drawn out, I mean. Then Talia attempts suicide because she doesn't want to be used by Ankar as a bargaining with the queen. There is the death of someone else, and Talia is grieved by that death, and so are a lot of other people, like really grief affected. I think one of the who dies, I know who dies, but he's their companion, and I think their horse dies as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because another herald died earlier, and I think when the herald dies, the companion just sort of runs off and goes back to where they came from. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think the companion died. There's a battle, which is pretty bloody, and there are evil magic users, so. But I actually really enjoyed this one. I thought it was better than the second one. The second one felt like they're not very long. This one's only like 12 chapters, I think. And then the chapters are, let me see if I can find it. Oh, this is 11. Oh, there we go, 12. So that's chapter 12. So they're not super long. But the second book to me was just sort of, because it was just Talia and Chris out in the wild, and like her empathy going crazy, that type of stuff. Excuse me. It just didn't do it for me personally. It was definitely like a second book. Maybe if I'd read them back to back, but I really liked this one, and I want to read more. Because, do they have? If you go to Goodreads, they do have it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like the 8th series. In the Valdemar universe. This is an internal chronology. So there, I have to read all this other stuff, and then there's stuff after it. I'm just excited. I can't wait. The next book I have is The Edge of the World. I've talked about this a couple of times, and I decided to DNF it because I DNF'd some other books, and one I will talk about, it wasn't what I expected, and this, I thought this was going to be, because it's about, it's a lot of politics, and I was expecting more exploration, as by the title. Each land sends ships to brave untamed waters, but I don't know how far I got in, and it was still just a lot of politics, and I wasn't interested. It didn't get to the action fast enough for me. So I'm just going to DNF it and give it away. I was just really interested in it, and it wasn't what I thought. Okay. No, this way. Oh, also, for Arrow's Fall, I forgot some notes here. There's the aftermath of rape and torture, and it's a bit quick healing-ish, like you and me, but like I said, Talia has the ability to heal not only others, but herself mentally and physically, so I think that's how come she got over it so quickly. Not that she really did. I did want to mention that. So, yes. Because I know a lot of people might be put off by that, but I think that's not an excuse that they give, but I think that is, and I'm not sure about the time lapse between when they find her after the torture and rape and when that is. It might say, I don't remember. So yes, that's that. So don't be put off by that. Just read the series. It's very good. Next, I have the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I always want to skip that I and just say Jemisin, but it's Jemisin. I really liked this book. The writing, I think a lot of people have said this about N.K. Jemisin. The writing is amazing and so, like, I don't know, layered and evocative, and it makes me not want to write anymore because how could I measure up? And I also really enjoyed the characters, and I like that N.K. Jemisin is the first author to win 3 consecutive Best Novel Hugo Awards for all of these books. That's her on the cover. Love it. She describes her characters really well, not only physically, but like their personalities. And maybe this is just me, but because I knew that she was a Black author, I automatically envisioned all of her characters as Black, and I'm not, some of them are definitely described that way, but not necessarily. They didn't have to be. And I do that with other authors. Like if it's a white author, I just assume all the characters are white looking unless told otherwise. That's probably a me thing. I like that it was, well, I don't know if I liked it, but it was interesting that they keep calling it Father Earth and not Mother Earth. And Father Earth hates everybody because the 5th season, it's basically like post-apocalyptic. They have seasons, and like every 5th one is like an apocalyptic event. And the people, what are they called? Where are they? It's called orogene and orogeny, and it is basically the ability to manipulate thermokinetic and related forms of energy to address seismic events. So volcanoes, earthquakes, rocks, people, they can like suck the heat out of people. And it's great. Let's see. So the 5th season is a volcano type of stuff. One of your characters, his name is Master, and he went to the school that trained them, the Orogeneers, and Alabaster, I think I said, and I don't remember. I just said it and I don't remember. And they get rings, and he has 10 rings, so 1 for each finger, but he is so powerful, he's probably more than that. he just ran out of fingers. And he can, like, a lot of stuff. So, to start off with, there's the death of a child at the hand of a parent. And then there's grief. Because of that, a lot of that is through the book. There's also forced sex for procreation. Alabaster, because he's a 10-ringer, he's basically forced. He is gay because later on he's in a poly relationship with another man and one of our main characters, and he doesn't really sleep with her. He prefers to sleep with their other partner. So he's forced to have sex because he's a 10-ringer and they want the better magic babies. There is child abuse disguised as love. The children, when they're picked up, the Origin children, they have guardians, and they go, oh, we love you, but if you fuck up, we'll kill you. But we love you, it's okay. So that's pretty fucked up. There is bullying. There is body horror. And there are mentions of cannibalism in the past. So, and there is, because it is the 5th season, there's a lot of apocalyptic stuff. Like people hoarding, people fighting each other, that type of thing. But I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get to the other 2 books. Oof. What do I have next? Next, I have The Waking Fire by Anthony Ryan. This is like a steampunk dragon fantasy. There are lands controlled by the Iron Ship Trading Syndicate, and they trade in the blood of dragons that only the blood blessed, as they're called, can use. But the lines of drakes are weakening because they're keeping them in captivity, so they're not able to be at their full potential. So they want to... There's the whispers of a far more powerful breed of drake, which is called the white drake, because there is red, green, blue, black, and white. So, a petty thief and an unregistered bloodblessed, a spy, an assassin, and a second lieutenant of an iron ship cruiser. And that sort of made it sound to me like all 3 were going to be on the same ship looking for the white, and that is not what happens. The petty thief is Clay. The spy is... Let me see if I can find her name. Lizanne, I believe. Lizanne. And the second lieutenant is Hylemore. And Lizanne and Clay meet for a bit, and she trains him how to do something with the blue blood, which I'll explain. And then Hylemore and Clay don't even meet till the end. And Lizanne and Hylemore never even know of each other. So Lizanne is doing her thing to find an instrument, not like a musical instrument, but like a mechanical instrument. Clay is off with his uncle and company to look for the white, and Hylemore is out on the ocean. But it was still very good. I quite enjoyed it. They use dragon blood for everything, and it's divided by colors. Green, it might be for strength, but it's also used to, like, a lot of the times when they're using it, their eyes, like, focus in and they can see far away, but then they can also, like, rip doors down and stuff. Blue is for the mind. You only use it to trance with other blood blesseds. Red is fire, so the iron ship uses it to power their ships. Instead of coal, you, like, toss in the red blood, and then the blood blessed makes it burn. You can also drink it and, like, out of your mouth or something. I'm not sure where it's coming from. And black is like extra powerful. It even like controls other people. Like, I'm not quite sure how, but when they do use it, they just like freezes your body and that kind of stuff. And then I'm not going to tell you what white does. You have to read the book to find that out. So, that I thought was interesting. The overuse of dragons has led to bad things, much like nowadays. There are pirates. There are battle scenes, which are pretty gross. One even has somebody's head getting hit with a bolt, like from a ship, and it's just embedded in his brain. So there's that to look out for. And looking for the white dragon is almost as dangerous as like everything else that's happening. So I do have the other two in the series, and I am quite interested to see where it goes. And maybe at some point all three of them will meet up. And they're all very good characters, and I did like that a lot. Okay, here we go. This is The City of Broken Magic, which I also DNF'd. It's an urban fantasy, and it has slime creatures that like eat humans, and then they also eat other things, but when they eat the humans, they like if they ate an engineer, they would know how to do an engine type of thing. And then they're also connected, so like they have the memories of older slime creatures. I DNF'd it because I liked the monsters that I read, but the blurb says that an elite team of non-magical humans can defuse and dispose of infestations. Laura, a new team member, has stayed alive longer than most, and she's the last and only sweeper standing between the city and a massive infestation. First of all, it's not an elite team. There's like 2 of them. I was expecting like a squad, like a SWAT type of thing. And I was flipping through it, and she's not the last or the only. So, and I don't know, it just wasn't grabbing me. And maybe this would work for some people, but it just didn't work for me. The other one I DNF'd is Paradox Bound. See, that's why I'm proud of myself. I DNF'd 3 books. I hardly ever do that. This is a time travel book, and it is about Eli Teague, who keeps running into a woman who has a tricorn hat, flintlock rifle, and steampunk Ford Model A, and she's being pursued by something. And it was okay, the bits that I read, but I don't know, it just wasn't grabbing me, and I wasn't really interested in like finding out what was happening. I didn't really like Eli. Whatever notes I had for it were in the notebook that I lost. So I just wasn't liking it, and I don't think I'm gonna pick it up again, so gotta DNF it. I hope all my friends who are DNFers are proud of me now. 2 more books, if I can find the notes. Okay, here we go. Next I read For the Killing of Kings by Howard Andrew Jones. This was really good. It has a 25-year-old protagonist, which I thought this was a YA book, but it's not. Well, I guess it could be, but it's got a 25-year-old protagonist. That's cool. There are a lot of fancy weapons with names. There are there's violence in this. There's madness, maybe, and grief. There's a lot of good banter between the characters. There are lies. They have been lied to about something. It does have switching POVs, so if you're not a fan of that. There's a crazy queen. I'm not sure. There's 2 more books, so that might tell you why she went mad. There's a general who's trying to be a usurper, and he's an idiot. There are battle scenes, so when I say battle scenes, I hope you know what to expect. I mean, there's blood, gore, that kind of stuff. There's an interesting magic system. Like, not everybody can do it, and when you can, it's pretty powerful. And there's also some false history. So people have been told things that perhaps didn't happen in the past. So this is about Eleni, or Eleni, and her aging mentor is murdered. And she has to flee with Kirkinol, to find the real sword, because the main sword that's supposedly keeping the city safe is a fake. So they go looking for the real one. And then Varama and Rylan work in the city to uncover the conspiracy that's happening there. And yeah, it's really good. It's really good. The magic is, there's like these stones that not everybody can use, and you sort of like go into them, and you can do stuff to people who have the stones and who don't have the stones. But if you use the stones, you turn crazy like the queen. So it's like a whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I read it. Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason I liked it was because of the banter and the unfolding like false history type of thing. So I do love when something happened in the past and what happened isn't what people get told. I do love that. That's quite fun. Because then they find sorry? Okay. And finally, The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I can't read it off the screen. I have to look at it. This is a historical fantasy heist. You'll love a heist. This is set in 1889 in France. And it is about a group of people. They are not children. There is no age given, but the main character, Severin, owns a hotel. So he's probably 21. And this got compared a lot to Six of Crows, and I can see why, because it's a heist with a diverse cast. But like comparing this to Six of Crows is like comparing Six of Crows to Ocean's 11. Like, there have been heist novels before Six of Crows with probably the George Clooney. Well, that's not very diverse, but you know, heist novels aren't a unique genre to YA. Like, Leigh Bardugo did not invent the heist novel, so this is very good. There are a lot of brown, black, mixed race people, which I liked a lot. There might even be a hint of a poly. I thought one character was asexual, but I think it's a bit poly. We'll find out. There is some anti-Semitism. Zofia is a Jewish Russian, who got kicked out of a school for blowing things up, but it's probably because she was a Jewish Russian. So she experiences a lot of that. What else? And Zofia also seems slightly... I'm not autistic, but I would say there are autistic, not cliches, but like, you know, when you see on TV or that kind of stuff. So that was nice. The other characters, there's some good banter as well. I love good banter. I love a heist. I love a good banter. But it is pretty dark. I'm trying to think. If you're going to compare it to Six of Crows, I didn't think Six of Crows was as dark as Crooked Kingdom. I thought Crooked Kingdom got darker. Excuse me. And this is dark pretty much from the first bit. I don't know if it's because it's the 1800s or because it's in France or because what it is, but it is. And there is some death in this one. And I believe the second one deals with the fallout. Like, there is some fallout of that death here and the grief and the grieving process, but I think from what I've seen or what I've read, that's more explored in the second one, which I am excited to get to. So I think you could read both this and Six of Crows and be quite happy because you got two heist novels on your hands. And this actually, like, because Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdoms, if we're going to go there, are the same heist broken up into two books. This is one contained heist. And the second one deals with, from what I understand, it deals with the outcome of the heist that is there. So, but I believe that the heist genre is big enough for all books, and I believe more people should write heist books. I actually have another heist book that I am excited to get to. So those were all the books I read in January. I'm super proud of myself. I DNF'd 3 and I read 5. That's like great for me. I have also been reading Arabian Nights, but I tried to finish these ones first because that one's a big chunky book, and I've been talking for 30 minutes about books. Oh well, that's what you get. But yes, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.